Hi creators, I'm Anne of Anakin Creates. Today's video is an unboxing and review of a Juya quilling kit. It comes with 30 colors, 600 strips, and 8 tools. It is one of the top quilling kits under $20 being sold on Amazon with over 4.5 stars and more than 1,000 ratings. You can get 3mm wide strips with or without glue, or 5mm wide strips with or without glue. So you just have to be careful about purchasing the one you actually want. So this is the Juya quilling kit, 5mm strips, no glue. Oh, it's all one package. No wonder things weren't rattling around. Looks like we have a couple of patterns, a peacock and a dancing girl. A pamphlet of instructions. We have a quilling board. It's also wrapped in plastic and it has kind of a coordinate grid on the back. Little box of straight pins, curling coach, glue bottle also individually wrapped, scissors, little package of tweezers, the quilling needle and slotted tool with a embossing end as well. And here is all of the paper. We have reds, blues, oranges and yellows, purples, pinks, and white, greens and a yellow, and then black, gray, browns, and white. And I just want to check for any damage. There's a little bit of something there, but that's hardly even worth noticing. This paper looks in really good shape. Almost missed this, a ruler. Okay, so that's everything. Let's count the tools. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So these are all the tools on the bottom. The two patterns and the ruler and the instructions, those are all just included for free. Alright guys, now that we have unboxed the kit, let's talk about things that are not in the kit that you're going to need. First of all, if you didn't buy a kit with the glue, you're going to need to provide your own. You're also going to need some background paper or something to glue onto. And then I personally like to have a tray or a plate on hand to squirt some glue onto. I don't really like to use that tiny glue bottle for an entire project. The Juya kit includes a little pamphlet of instructions, very brief and basic instructions for each of the quilling tools, and talks very briefly about what they're used for. Not in depth, but at least it's something. However, oh, these do not smell good. I shouldn't have put it so close to my nose. They're off-gassing or something. But assuming that the smell goes away soon, it's not a deal breaker for me. Let's get into testing out the materials. Picking out a couple strips of the bright white to do a letter outline. We're going to do a letter A. I had to squeeze the bottle really hard to get the glue to come out, but once it started, it was fine. I love the super skinny lines of glue, super helpful for outlines. Here's my wiggle test. Cardstock produces a nice stiff outline. I'm going to go a bit softer on the Juya outline because I know the paper is thinner and weaker. Yeah, definitely more wiggly. As far as the shade of white, it doesn't quite match the background paper. It's not terrible, but I can see the difference. Picking out some reds, it's time to fill the outline. Prepping the strip with the quilling needle, using the slotted tool to roll it up. And I have to say, I like the slotted tool a lot. It feels good. It's very smooth plastic, it's sturdy feeling, and bonus, it looks cool. This is the quilling board. I'm using it to make 4 coils the same size to turn into teardrops, and using the tweezers to bend the teardrops. I've switched to using a straight pin to roll a strip, or at least get it started. I like how a straight pin makes a smaller center hole and no kink. Again, using a straight pin to roll, and the tweezers to shape. I use the tweezers a ton, especially when I'm gluing pieces down. The quilling needle is handy too, for curving short strips, curving a stack of strips, cleaning glue blobs, rolling a strip into a scroll. Very useful. The dreaded curling coach. This is the first time I've put the slotted tool into the curling coach. It's too bad I didn't film my face because this is a moment of revelation. Oh, but here, I'll reenact it for you. It's an amazing moment because I realize this curling coach might actually work. I've pushed it on as far as it will go, and the slot on the other side butts up against it, so I don't have to try and hold the coach in place. Between the paper and the slotted tool, there's nowhere else for it to go. Look, this is what I mean. With a different brand, see how much wiggle room there is? I'll slide it to the edge of the slot, and there's too much room behind it. The coach can move back and forth. It's not being helpful at all. But the Juya combo works really well together to roll a flat, tight coil. I am super surprised. Last pieces. A lovely project. Okay, unboxing is done, testing is done. Here is my review. Starting with the paper. I loved the colors. I thought the colors were gorgeous. The thickness, the paper weight was fairly consistent across all the colors. I thought it was easy to glue together. You could roll it and shape it just fine. You could glue it on edge. But I would not recommend using it for the letter outline. I just thought it was too thin, and really I like a thicker, stiffer outline. Most of the tools in this kit get a thumbs up. The scissors were a pleasure to use. They were sharp. The cutting was smooth. The slotted tool felt really nice in my hand, and it had a cool design, and I would not be surprised if it became my go-to slotted tool. The curling coach, surprise of the day, actually worked because they designed the curling coach and the slotted tool to fit together. Makes a big difference. The quilling board, the tweezers, and the glue bottle, those were all pretty much on par with other ones that I've used before. So for cons, I did have a couple of negatives. I wasn't real hot on the straight pins. I felt like they were short and the ball on the end was extra small. But if you use your straight pins to hold your quilling in place like a normal person, I don't think this will be an issue for you. But I use straight pins to roll the paper, and it's just easier to have something bigger to grip. So the other negative was the smell. When I first unboxed everything, it was the instructions and those 2 patterns that had a strong chemical smell. And then a day later, it seemed to transfer over to the quilling board. I didn't love it, but it did eventually go away after a few days. So all in all, this is a really good kit, especially suitable for beginners. It's got some solid basic tools, comes with beautiful paper strips, and it even has 2 projects ready to try. So I give it 5 stars. As I see it, Juya's main competition on Amazon is a 15-piece quilling kit by Tuparka, and I could probably go on and on comparing these two kits. But in short, I think Juya's got the edge because of the awesome paper ruler that they included for free. Not. I think Juya does beat Tuparka by 1 star because their tools are just generally higher quality. But frankly, they're both really good beginner kits and a great way to get into quilling. And that is my review. I hope it's been helpful, and I will see you in the next video.